1 year ago, this city was flipped upside down by a hurricane. Un cabrón named Harvey. And they said that this city would never be the same. I think it's beautiful that a year later, we're all here celebrating together the fact that this city is resilient. And you guys persevered. Houston strong, baby. Yeah, that's serious. In all sincerity, you guys, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I already got your money. Freaking Houston, I love this town. I've been coming here for 20 years. 20 years. Started off performing at a comedy club called the Laugh Stop. And then, of course, we jumped over to the Improv, and then I performed everywhere. I even did a one-nighter in Tomball. That's a long story for the people at home. I won't even get into that. I want to give you guys a heads up and let you know now that tonight I feel extra comfortable. You're gonna notice that you might hear a little bit more Spanish than you normally would. And you can't do that just anywhere, but you can do that in Houston. Now, to everyone watching at home who's freaking out, like, oh my God,
I didn't sign up for this.
If I say something in Spanish, my promise is to translate immediately so that everyone enjoys the show, okay? Because I know the second I said Spanish, people are freaking out, you know? All the people that drove in from the Woodlands are like, hey. And for everyone at home, what does he mean by that? The people from the Woodlands, you know. I know he is not referring to us. The nerve of him. He needs to go back where he came from, over by Airline Road. That's right. I know where you keep your brown people. This is awesome. This always pisses off Netflix. They're like, Gabriel, we really wish you would just do a show that's general, that everybody understands. Why do you have to make your show so personal? Only people in that city are gonna get it. Well, when you have an arena full of people, you want them to get it. You want that extra personal, special touch. I don't care what they say, I already got the check. So let me give you a heads up as to what has happened since the last time I did a special. My son Frankie is now 19 years old. 19 years old, high school graduate. He has all his shots, ladies. People tell me all the time, you know, why do you talk about your son so much? Because he won't leave. Does he like it when you talk about him? I said, no, he hates it. Well, why do you do it? Because he won't leave. I'll tell you what he likes to do right now. He likes to sit around the house and watch videos of other kids playing video games. See, some of you are clapping. I didn't know that was an actual thing. I asked him, what are you doing? I'm watching other kids playing video games. I said, that's really? Why? Well, they're professionals. I'm like, why would you watch something that you could be doing? Because they're professionals. That's dumb. Really, Dad? Every Sunday, I see you watching football. How come you don't play? I didn't even argue. I just cut off the internet. My son's problem right now is that he has, according to him, too many options. Okay, that's his problem. I'm like,
Poor guy.
I have so many options, Dad. I don't know what to do. Write them down. Put them on a wheel. Freaking. Today, plumber. Something. The problem is we go places, people find out he is my son, and then they offer him opportunities. He doesn't understand that that's not how the real world works. I know about struggling and clawing and fighting for the opportunity to do something. He doesn't get it yet. And that's my fault. For example, I take him and his mom out to dinner, okay? I took them both to Red Lobster. Now, Houston, me personally, I love Red Lobster, okay? And not even for the seafood. I'm talking about the biscuits. Oh, yeah. So we're sitting there and we're having a conversation with our son about life, opportunity, what does he want to do with himself? And as we're talking to him, the manager from Red Lobster walks over to our table. And he's being really cool, right? He's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. He looks at my son. Is this the infamous Frankie? I said, why, yes, it is. He just graduated. Congratulations. And he's looking for a job. The manager goes, oh, say no more. And he gives my son a business card. And then he starts to say, listen, Frankie, this is all you have to do. Just go online and fill out the application. Once it's registered, call me personally, and I'll see to it that you get an interview. The only position we have available right now is for a host, but there's plenty of room for opportunity here at Red Lobster. Besides, you got one hell of a reference. And then he walked away, and I was like, oh my God. I'm gonna get free biscuits. My son looks at me and says, I don't want to work at Red Lobster. I said, Frankie, no one is making you work anywhere. This is just another opportunity that you're wasting. Okay, no Red Lobster. What's your plan? Oh, I don't know. I got frustrated, so I raised my voice. Well, you better start thinking. His mom didn't like that. Don't talk to him like that. I said, look, biscuit blocker. See, up to this point, we have agreed on how we raise our son. But in this situation, she's trying to protect him from the world. I'm trying to prepare him for the world. If he cannot handle me raising my voice to get his attention, to see the bigger picture, he's not ready for a world that doesn't care about his feelings. So I say, you know what? I gotta have a one-on-one with him. I gotta have a one-on-one without... So I take him out to the movies. We get in the car, we take off. Little 20-minute drive, okay? As we're driving, I figure I'll have a little one-on-one with him. Maybe this way it doesn't feel like a talk. I thought he understood what I was trying to say. It's late, we're leaving the movies. We're pulling out of the parking structure, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a cop car. And I made a sound. I was like, ugh. And Frankie goes, what is it, Dad? I said, there's a cop at the light. What are you worried about? He's gonna stop us. How do you know? Watch. I made that left turn. Frankie's losing it. It's happening! I said, relax. I pull over. Cop pulls up from behind. Immediately. Driver, windows down. Oh. Driver, hands out the window.
Serious?
Both of them. I can't, I'm fat! He gets to the window and he's got the flashlight and he shines the light right in my face. He's like, license? Yeah. Here. He takes the license and then, of course, do you know why I stopped you? Officer, no, I don't, but I'm sure you're about to tell me. You don't have a front plate on your car. said, "Officer, you're absolutely right. I do not have a front plate on my car, but my name is actually on the front of the car." Excuse me, my name is on the front of the car. I own a 2012 Ford Flex, and the Ford Flex has the actual word flex written on the hood. I have a friend who does custom automotive work, and he took all the letters off the car except for the letter F, and he made letters so that it spells fluffy on the hood. Okay? Yeah. It sounds impressive. You can do it too for like $23. It's not that bad. They're like refrigerator magnets. You can even move them. Like one day a letter flew off and it said Foofy. Look at me. Que pendejo. I know, stupid, right? So the officer walks around to the front of the car and he takes his flashlight and he shines the light right on the hood. And he does this. He goes, "I knew it!" And my son, happy or no, I did manage to stay busy during the pandemic. I did a movie from my living room. Yeah, and it wasn't even on Pornhub. The movie already came out in theaters. It's called Space Jam. It's the movie with LeBron. Los Angeles, you are looking at the new voice of Speedy Gonzalez. Thank you. I found it ironic that they hired the slowest Mexican to play the fastest. You know? And 2 weeks after I get this part, I come to find out that they're trying to cancel Speedy Gonzalez. I'm sure some of you heard that they came after two cartoons. They came after Pepe Le Pew and Speedy. Now, Pepe, I understand. He's a little touchy. You know, but he disguises it with the mon chéri, mon chéri, hola, yeah. But Speedy Gonzalez, what's his crime? He's Mexican and he's fast. That is not a crime. In Montebello, that's called job security. So I said, I cannot let them hurt Speedy. You know, I can't let them cancel him. So I came to his defense. Plus, it was my only job. I went to the only place I felt I could go to protect him. I went on Twitter. And Twitter, ooh, Twitter's a scary place. It is. You only go there to fight, to get into it, to prove a point. And so a friend of mine said, if you want to get some attention, use a hashtag. And so I did. And I wrote a tweet that said, hey, hashtag cancel culture. My name is Gabriel Iglesias, and I'm the new voice of Speedy Gonzalez. You cannot cancel or catch me. And I posted it. I had no idea that when you go on Twitter looking for problems, you will find them. Oh yeah, every major news outlet picked up my tweet and used it in a story about cancel culture. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. If I would have known that, I would have used spell check. Because my family called. Eres pendejo, qué chingados, ¿qué te pasa? No escribe bien. Oh my God. Even Fox News did a story with my tweet. Fox News? You know how I know? My bus driver Dave called me. Oh, he was thrilled. He was like, Fluffy, God damn it, I've never been prouder. You made it, baby. You're on Fox News. I said, Dave, shut up. You're stupid. He's like, America. Even Warner Brothers Pictures reached out to say thank you. And before I know it, I was on a Zoom call. And I know a lot of us had to get used to Zoom. And it's kind of convenient, right? All they see is this. So to entertain myself, every time I took a Zoom call, I was full Winnie the Pooh. And if you're not laughing right now, you better ask someone who is, because there is no coming back from full Winnie the Pooh. I was leaving baby powder all over the house. It looked like an episode of Narcos. So I get on the Zoom call with the director, writer, and producer of Space Jam. And they're being super nice, super supportive, super cool. They're like, Gabriel, thank you so much for lending your voice talents to our film. We really, really appreciate you being part of this. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. So, well, thank you. we have a question for you. I said, okay. How do you feel about the voice of Speedy Gonzalez? I said, well, what do you mean? Well, you know, some people find him to be a little stereotypical. What are your thoughts? I said, well, you have not met my family. I cannot speak for all brown people, but I can tell you that me personally, in my house growing up, Speedy Gonzalez was not viewed in a negative way. As a matter of fact, he was the only form of representation we had growing up. It was him and the little bumblebee on The Simpsons. Gabriel, we were thinking that perhaps you would like to lend your real speaking voice to the character, maybe modernize him a little, you know, bring him up to speed. I said, well, you know, with all due respect, I appreciate the fact that you would give me the power to change the sound of such an iconic character. But at the end of the day, when people see the movie, I don't want them to think of me. I want them to think of Speedy Gonzalez. So I said, please keep his voice original. And then he asked the question, well, do you think you can do the voice? How did I get the part? Now remember, I never auditioned for Speedy Gonzalez. They just called me, and I assumed that they knew that I did voices for a living and that I could pull this off. So I says, what made you choose me if you didn't know whether or not I could do the... Oh. You needed a big brown shield in case shit happened, huh? And then all three people on the phone call were like... I said, well, don't worry, because with me, you get a twofer. You get an actual Mexican, and you get someone that can nail the voice. So, oh yeah. That's right. So before I know it, this sound person, the guy who does recordings over at Warner Brothers, gets on the call. The only thing I know about this guy is that he's loud. Okay, he gets on the call, he's like, Gabriel Iglesias, how are you? Wow, wow. How's it going? My name is Steven. I'm the sound coordinator here at Warner Brothers Pictures. So listen, buddy, here's what's going to happen. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit record. And as soon as I hit record, I just need for you to start talking like Speedy Gonzalez. We're going to get the flow, the tempo, the timing. And as soon as we got it dialed in, we're going to make a movie. Sound good? Sounds good. All right, this is Gabriel Iglesias for Space Jam, A New Legacy. Speedy Gonzalez, take one. Gabriel, mic check, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sounds good. All right, here we go. And go. All right, here we go.
Hola amigos, I am Speedy González de Pases Mouse en all México. ¡Arriba! ¡Epa, pándale!
The director, writer, and producer, all three were like, that was perfect. I said, I know, I've been Mexican a long time. And I said, and don't just think that just because I'm Mexican, I can only play the Mexican character. I said, I do voices for a living. If given the opportunity, I could voice the entire film all by myself. I could. You know, we're trying to figure out this whole thing with Netflix and doing a new special. And during the pandemic, 2020 especially, it was not even a possibility of assembling a few people, much less a stadium. So Netflix made it clear, we need a new special sooner than later, okay? This was right before they didn't have Squid Games yet. You remember?
Red light.
Yeah. Some of you are like, that's racist. No, that's accurate. That's really good. So anyway, Netflix said as soon as there's an opportunity to record a new special, we need a special. So with time going by, there became two options for recording a special in late 2020. One was Florida, and the other was Texas. Some people from Texas cheering? Yeah? Okay. You could cheer all you want. That's where I got COVID. Yeah. Chingate esa. So here's the story. So I had done shows before, in Texas, and I had never done a show in San Antonio. So the original plan was we wanted to record a special in San Antonio for the new Netflix show, for the series. So we couldn't really travel too much. And remember, they kept telling us, stay in your bubble, stay in your COVID bubble. Don't forget to stay in your bubble. So in order to be as proactive and just careful, we all went out there together as a team, okay? And then we all basically said, we're gonna do a residency in San Antonio for 30 days. 30 shows in 30 days. And on the last day, we'll record a new special. This way it gives me a chance to start performing again because it'd been over a year since I touched the stage. And so we get there and they gave me the option. Do you want to stay in a house or do you want to stay in a hotel? And I said, well, I've never lived in Texas before, so let's see what a house feels like. So they got us like this fancy Airbnb, and basically, it was Martin, Alfred, my friend Rick, myself. It was like 4 of us. It was like the Mexican version of the real world, okay? So we're all in this big house together. Everyone gets their own room. And so, of course, I get the big room because it's me. And, look at some, no, yes. So I open up the door, I turn on the light, click. And I'm like, this is a beautiful room. Wow, look how big it is. And then I notice there's a hole in the wall. And I said, that's weird. So I get really close to the wall. And when I got close, I realized it's not a hole. It's a big-ass roach. And let me tell you, I am not exaggerating when I tell you that cuca was this big. That roach was this big. Now, I have used this unit of measure before to exaggerate. And let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that freaking cucaracha was this big. And I don't want you guys thinking, oh, what, you think you're too good for roaches? No! I grew up with roaches my whole life. My mom and I, we lived in apartment buildings, projects. We always had roaches, but they were different. First of all, they were this big. And California roaches are very different. Okay? For example, when you turn on the light, they scatter. In Texas, he chilled. In California, they respond to sound and movement. Ah! Scatter. I tried my California technique on this Tejano roach. I said, ah! And the roach was like, what? Oh my God, I don't think he's in my room. I think I'm in his. And at that moment, my tour manager walks in the room and she's like, is everything okay with the accommodations? I said, no, the room is beautiful, but look at the wall. Aw, there's a hole in the wall. I said, get closer. She gets up to the wall and she's like, oh, it's a big ass roach. I said, you're okay with that? She said, he's not in my room. She can see that I'm visibly bothered by this roach. So she's like, would you like me to take care of your little friend for you? And it is a little emasculating because I'm a big guy and she's like 5'2". So she's like, move, fool. She takes off her shoes, she grabs it, she gets up on a chair, and she brings it back, and she's like, soy la 69. Bam! Nailed that roach. Threw down her shoe, put it on. I look at the wall, and it kept moving. And I said, you have angered our friend. And she was like defensive. Fool, round two. So she grabs her shoe, gets back up on the stool, and she brings it back. And just as she's about to nail this roach for the second time, that shit started flying. It was a Harry Potter roach. Oh, man, mira. She's ñañeras, man. So anyway, we were there for 27 days. And for some reason, on the 27th day, out of a team of 30 people that were there to film a special, I was the only one that tested positive for COVID-19. No one else got it. Not Martin, not Alfred, nobody. And I told Martin, dude, I don't know where I got it. And he said, I think you got it from the roach. Anyway, on top of dealing with COVID, and by the way, a sincere apology to the city of San Antonio because I was supposed to tape a special with you guys, and clearly for obvious reasons we couldn't do it. But I hope you understand why I had to do this tonight. On top of dealing with COVID, the vaccine situation, I come to find out someone was trying to extort money from me. Yeah, and they weren't even family. So chingate esta, watch. I get a phone call from my manager telling me that someone reached out claiming to have video footage of me being inappropriate with models. Yeah, see? Look at it. You guys are like me. Yeah, I'm like, I need to see it too. Now, no disrespect to any woman who has ever given me the opportunity. But none of them were models. Maybe a couple of cochinas from West Covina, maybe. But they were not models. They were not models. They were just good citizens. Thank you. So anyway, they said I had until 9 a.m. to make a deposit of $50,000 into an account, or they were going to release the footage to TMZ and my career was going to be over. When I got the message, it was already 6 p.m. So I had missed the deadline by like half a day. So I was like, well, let me turn on the TV, still, see if I still got a job. And clearly this is the first time you guys are hearing about this because there was no footage. They were just trying to scare me into giving them money. The only reason why I'm telling you the story is because only 50,000? Like seriously, that's what my career's worth? Don't get me wrong. I know when I said 50,000, some of you were like, oh, and it is a lot of money. But if you're gonna go after a celebrity, $50,000 is really low. Like, to put into perspective, they did the same thing to Kevin Hart. And with Kevin Hart, they hit him for $10 million. $10 million, which lets me know where I stand on the comedy totem pole of success. There's Kevin Hart with 10 million, and I am like the Groupon of extortion.
Where'd you get your extortion? Got that shit at Ross. It was on clearance.
$50,000. You can't even buy an Escalade with $50,000. And by the way, I know I keep pointing at people in the front right here. If you're here tonight with someone you have no business being here with, and you see a camera coming by, just be like, hey, Victory! They're very respectful. They'll go to the next person. Don't even worry about that. Before I forget, you guys, I would like to thank the Allstate Arena for providing some amazing accommodations backstage. Let me tell you right now, I love my dressing room for the simple fact that it has basic things that I really like light switches. A lot of these arenas are now starting to go green, and so they're taking away the light switches and they're replacing them with sensors. Sensors are cool when they work. You know what I mean? Like when you're 10 feet away and it senses you and the whole room just... What I don't like is that when they're messed up, then you have to walk into a dark-ass room and establish your presence. But then you stand still for 4 seconds. No. Shit! In addition, backstage, my sink has knobs on it. I have control of the temperature and the pressure of the water, which in the Chicago area I believe is very important, especially in the winter. Oh man, you guys are no joke in the winter. You need warm water when you wash your hands. You can't rely on a sensor that gives you nothing but cold water, because you wash your hands with cold water, your hands get all cryptic. Then you go outside and people are making fun of you. Look at Thriller. But my dressing room, you guys, has a sink that has hot and cold. You can control the water. You can control the temperature. You can control the pressure. I hate it when they take that away from us and they replace it with that little sensor. So now, in addition to being a comedian, now I gotta be a magician. I'm not a magician, but if you watch me wash my hands, that's what I look like, you know, just... Nothing. Then you walk away. I feel like there's someone behind the mirror messing with me, like, watch this. Some places stop there. Some places keep going. I like a lot of soap when I wash my hands. I like a good soap dispenser. I like the, the pump. I hate it when they take that away from us and then they replace it with that little spout that goes next to the faucet. You stick your hand under it and it gives you that little booger of soap. You know what I mean? That little moco, you put it under. You know you need more, so you pull it out and then you go back in, but the sensor's like, no, it's still you. Now you gotta trick it, right? Once you get enough soap on your hands, now you gotta try to wash it off. But you can't wash it off then and there because the timer for the water has timed out. So now you have to back up and now you have to put on a second performance. Now it's a race to get that soap off your hands. Once you get the soap off your hands, now you gotta try to dry your hands. Some places still give you a towel, some places give you paper towels. Some take the paper towels and they put them in a box on the wall with another sensor. And there you are. 3 inches of paper. 3 inches, Chicago. You can't do anything with 3 inches. Ask any woman, they'll tell you. Or a guy, I'm equal opportunity. I need control of the paper. I need the crank. Some places stop there, some places keep going. Have you ever walked into the bathroom stall, closed the door, locked it, turned around, looked at the toilet, and seen a blinking red light on the wall? And you're like, really? Here too? All you're trying to do is get the tissue paper off the wall for the toilet seat. You take one step. I haven't even done anything. You grab the paper. You turn around and you put it on like a cape. And you let it slide down your back while you slowly try to time it just right. And just as you're about to sit down, somebody always walks into the bathroom and distracts you. Huh? But it's too late. Your knees are bent. And unless you do CrossFit, you're not coming back from that one. Then your bare ass touches the seat. And you're like, ah! And just when you think it can't get any worse, and all this water splashing up, hitting you right in the ass. And then the water goes down the drain and it creates that air vortex that goes right between your legs. So now you have a tsunami in the back. You have a tornado in the front. And who's the victim? Pikachu. And he's holding on for dear life. You haven't even made magic yet, and you've already been violated by plumbing. Now you do what you need to do. You finish. Now it's time for cleanup, time for maintenance. So you reach over for the toilet paper, and the problem with using the restroom nowadays is that most venues, including this one, instead of putting a human-size toilet paper roll inside of the human-size toilet paper roll dispenser, they take their ass to Costco or Sam's Club or one of these places where you buy in bulk, and they buy that giant gorilla roll of toilet paper. And then they come back here and they force it into that little tiny compartment. And then they close the door on it. So now this giant wheel is locked in place. You can't even spin it, you're just... You can't even find where it starts because they glue it. Out of desperation, you gotta pull out your car keys and cut into the side of it like a bag of cocaine on Narcos. Then you get the paper, you try to wipe. Chicago, a year from now, I am predicting that they're gonna take 100% control of the restroom. You're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna think of me because you're gonna see it. You're gonna look over to get the toilet paper and there's gonna be a blinking red light on it. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, Fluffy called it. And what are you gonna have to do? One sheet. You're gonna get frustrated and just sit on it. Sorry, bro. I know that was a lot of culo. I threw at you right there. She's like, it's like magic. My favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. Oh, he's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy, you hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. Martin and I just got back from India. Yeah. So let me tell you, I started posting on Facebook and Twitter that we were gonna go out there to do these shows. And then people started sending me messages, questioning what I was gonna do. First of all, are they gonna understand you in India? Will they understand English okay? Will they be able to follow along with your stories? Once we got there, I come to find out that more people speak English in India than in all of the US and Canada put together. Might as well throw Mexico in there for extra credit. Because there's that many people, and yes, they have the internet. They got the internet, they got Bollywood, they got Hollywood. They understand American culture so much more than we understand theirs. Second thing, people tried to warn me about going over there. Gabriel, be careful. India is a third world country. Don't drink the water in India. It contains parasites that'll make you really sick. Don't eat the food from the street people, especially the street meat. It contains a parasite that'll make you really sick. And most importantly, there's a lot of crime over there. Don't stay out late. When the sun goes down, you go down. I'm like, is it that bad? Parasites. So I'm like, let me get this straight. There's a lot of crime. Don't stay out late. Don't eat any of the food from the street vendors. And don't drink the water. Why does that sound familiar? That's Mexico! When Martin and I got over there, we found out that Indian people and Mexican people have so much in common, you guys. I'm telling you, it's insane how similar we are, especially the food. The food is so similar. For example, Mexicans love tortillas. Indian people love naan bread, which is a fluffier form of a tortilla. Mexicans love chicken. Indians love chicken. Mexicans love hot and spicy. Indians invented hot and spicy. Most popular drink in Mexico is Fanta. Most popular drink in India is Fanta. Indian people worship cows. Mexicans love barbecues. A lot of similarities. Most of the people that I met over there were very hardworking and humble. And I gotta tell you, every time I talked to someone, I was always greeted the same way. They'd look at me, they'd put their hands together, they'd do a little bow, and they say, Namaste, which is an endearing hello. It's really nice and sweet. And then I noticed that Indian people, when you're talking to them, do this thing with their head, where it will begin to move side to side as they're speaking. Now, at first when you notice it, you think, oh, he slept wrong. He just got a kink in his neck. Get a Tempur-Pedic! Now, when they start speaking, their head starts moving. And I noticed this. The guy is checking us into the hotel, and he's really cool. He's like, listen, if you have any problems at all, okay, you call the front desk, you press 0. We will send somebody to your room to help you. Whatever you need, we got it for you right here, okay? It's very good. Now, one thing I notice is the more they talk and the more excited Indian people get, the more the head starts to move around. Somebody at the hotel yelled out to the clerk, that's Fluffy. And the guy was like, oh my God, I don't believe it. I can do it. I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. This is so crazy. Oh my God, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. Even crazier than that is that the mouth is actually connected to the neck. When the mouth stops moving, the head stops wherever the mouth left off. And when you see Indian people talking to each other, you can see it. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, okay, hold on. Wait, hold on, wait, okay. Like if you're Indian and you stutter, you are so screwed. Somebody stop him! I'm not gonna lie, you guys. When I first saw this happen, I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was funny. But then I started thinking about it. Head movement is just a form of expression. No matter where you live in this world, people express themselves in their own unique way, whether through facial expressions, hand gestures, body movement, extra words. Everywhere you go, things are different, and that's just how they express themselves in India. Now, back to the whole Indians-Mexican thing. That is something else that we share in common with Indian people. Head movement. Now, some of you in the building tonight are like, stupid. We don't have head movement. Yes, we do. It's a little different. See, with Indian people, the head movement is side to side. Mexicans, our head movement is front to back. The difference between that is that with Mexicans, we have to be very, very upset in order for you to see the head movement. Otherwise, you can't tell. With Indians, it's all the time. Oh, today is such a nice day. It is such a beautiful day today. I'm so happy. It's very nice, very good. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so nice. It's such a pretty. Mexicans, when we're mad, that's when it comes out. For non-Latinos, hey, trust me, you cut off a Mexican in traffic, see what happens. ¡Sácate, pendejo! ¡Lárgate, cabrón! ¡Quítate, desgraciado! That's funny. I don't know why the black people are laughing. You guys take it all. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, hell no. I know he ain't talking about me. I hit a bell. I hit a bell. I made myself dizzy doing it. So let me tell you guys, if you ever get the opportunity to travel to India, I encourage you to check it out. You are gonna see some beautiful things. You are gonna see some amazing things. You are gonna see some sad, depressing things and some real horrible things. Overall, it's a well-balanced trip. But when you get back home here to the United States, you will have a whole different appreciation for your life. Believe that. I guarantee this, you guys. There's a lot of people in India, and with a lot of people comes a lot of traffic. First things first, American traffic and Indian traffic, very different. Here, whatever happens on the freeway will stop the whole freeway. In India, there's 10 times the traffic, but it moves. See, the problem is Americans, we're fascinated by accidents. We're fascinated by the idea of seeing potential death. That's why we slow down on the freeways. We say we don't want to see it, but what happens in traffic? You know, what's going on over there? There doesn't even have to be a collision. You could be on the 101 freeway and a car has a tire blowout and it spins. Doesn't hit anything. It's now facing oncoming traffic. You know what happens to the rest of the freeway? Even on the other freeway where there's no accident. And again, what's going on? What's going on? I'm sorry, hey, somebody might be dead. Sorry. In India, if there's an accident in the middle of the street, you know what they do? They drive right around it. They don't stop. And it's not that they're not sensitive to the situation. They are. It's just that there's so much chaos that happens on a regular basis. They just need to get to work. They do see what's happening. And believe me, they're heartfelt. You know, they'll drive around. I'm so sorry for you. Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India. They need to get from point A to point B. And so they go. If there's an accident, they drive around. If there's something blocking the street, they get on the sidewalk to go around. It's amazing the way they drive. And here's something else. No one uses turn signals over there. No one uses turn signals. They use a horn. Now, if you go to India tomorrow, from the time you get there to the time you leave, you're constantly going to hear a horn. It's an actual language when people are driving. I'll show you. You're driving? Car on your right. Car on your left. Light up ahead. They talk to each other while they're driving, and they barely miss each other every single time. Also, you'll be on the 101 freeway here, and there'll be 6 lanes. In India, you'll see 6 lanes, but guess what? You'll see 12 cars across. Yes, they have lines, but they're basically there to let you know more or less the direction you might want to go in. They're this close to each other. And even at the light, they communicate. You see everything. Cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, pedestrians, cows, children, all waiting for the light. And they talk at the light with the horn. Very good, you can go, you can go. Welcome, you're welcome, go, go. Nothing stops the flow of traffic over there. Indian people drive. Think of ants. You know how ants travel in a straight line? And if there's something in the way like a rock, ants will split up, go around the rock and reunite or climb over the rock. Worst case scenario, they dig a hole and go under the rock. That's the mentality of driving in India. A man can get shot in the middle of the street. People just look at each other. Somebody pick him up. And they'll drag his ass onto the sidewalk. And if there's an accident and they need to get around, guess what's gonna happen to that guy on the sidewalk? Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India except a cow. Now, I know we've always heard the stories and the jokes about, oh, Indian people don't eat hamburgers. I asked the question and I found out. It's believed that cows are people who have died and they've been reincarnated and their new life is now the cow, which is why they don't eat them and why they give them all the love and respect in the world over there. I saw this firsthand. There's a cow crossing the street while we're driving. And the cows know, they're cocky, they know that they can cross. Freaking, all the cows, and the cows out there all cocky. Gling, 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 gling. No one honks at the cows. No one yells at the cows. No one touches the cows. They wait for the cows to finish crossing. The cow that we had laid down. The driver just shut off the car. Started tweeting. There is a cow in the middle of the street. Hashtag Momo. I asked the driver, what's going on? Sir, there is a cow. I see that there's a cow. Are you gonna honk at it, go around? What's gonna happen? We cannot honk at the cow. We must wait for the cow to move. You're kidding. I am not kidding. We must wait for the cow. We drove past a dead body 15 minutes ago. That is probably him. Like seriously, the driving situation over there is so intense, you guys. One morning while we're there, I needed to get to the airport fast because I overslept. And so I get in the cab and I hand the driver a $50 bill. And I go, sir, I am running very late. I need to get to the airport as soon as possible. Whatever side street you have to take or back road, I'm all for it. Whatever you have to do, let's do it. And I hand him the money and he goes, very good, let's go. And we take off. The guy is hitting anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour on the street. We are making incredible time. I notice that we're heading in the direction of a red light. You ever been in a car with someone and you're paying attention to what's going on and you notice that you're about to hit a red light and you know how you start to mentally and physically prepare yourself for the deceleration of the car, and you start anticipating the pressure from the brake. And if you don't get the sensation of slowing down by a certain point, all alarms go off in your head and you sock the driver in the chest. Hey! Not only did I not get the sensation of slowing down, I got the opposite. He gunned it towards the light. And it caught me off guard. I couldn't even scream. I was like, "Arr!" And then I got air. Hey, pull over, pull over. He didn't even know what he did. He looks at me, he goes, what is wrong? What do you mean, what is wrong? Dude, didn't you see the red light? As calm as can be. Didn't you see there was no one there? You told me, whatever you have to do, okay? Whatever you have to do, you do. Do you want to yell or do you want to make plain? He made a good point. I sounded like a third grader. I want to make plain. Like seriously, that's a video game I want to see. I want to see Grand Theft Auto India. It was so crazy, you guys. And this is just us being there. I haven't even gotten to the part of us performing. We were in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. Okay, these three places is where we went to perform. Mumbai and Bangalore, the shows went over very, very well. Okay, there were about 1,500 to 2,000 people, which is amazing for a few going over there. I was like excited, yes. And then we get to Delhi. And when we got to Delhi, you guys, it got a little crazy. Martin walks out on stage and the crowd recognized him. And they started chanting, Martin! Anytime I hear that, I'm like, they know him, it's gonna be a good show. So Martin starts cracking jokes. The crowd starts laughing. He's cracking more jokes. The crowd keeps laughing. All of a sudden, I hear this. Martin doesn't say a word to them. He gets off stage, next comedian comes out, and then Martin comes over to me and he says, bro, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on out there. There's these three guys in the front row. They're laughing like Klingons from Star Trek. I'm not gonna address them. I'm gonna save them for you. I was like, oh, thank you. So then Martin goes back out there on stage. And he introduces me. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Iglesias. And then I run out on stage. And the crowd started chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy. And I was like, whoa, what's up, Delhi? And I start cracking jokes. Start getting laughs. Start cracking more jokes. Start getting more laughs. And then it happened. Now see me, I can't avoid things. Especially when it's front row center. So I addressed it. I came right out and I said, well, hello. I said, what do we have here? I said, so where are you guys from? And the guy in the middle looks at me and he goes, we are from Germany. I said, cool, we have Germans in the house. And the whole crowd got really weird. You could hear them. They freaked out because they thought I was gonna start making fun of the German people. And one guy even stood up. Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! I go, relax, bro, have a seat. Don't do it! I'm not gonna make fun of the German people. That's the last thing I wanna do is offend them. I don't wanna end up outside in an alley somewhere freaking in 2 hours. And this is the last time we are going to tell you, do not make fun of German people. As I'm doing this joke about a German kicking me on the floor with the accent, here's where it gets crazy. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Listen to what I just told you, Bay Area. I get hit in the side of the head by a bat. Not Major League Baseball. I'm talking about, I'm gonna suck your blood. In India, there are millions and millions and millions of fruit bats. And one of them, actually 6 of them, made it inside of the building. And they're flying around and they're hanging out in the rafters. And one of them decides to fly down. And basically, when I was doing the kicks, I stepped into the line of flight of the bat. And he caught me right here. I'm like, what the hell? And I look up and you see it and you can hear it. The Indian people saw that and they freaked out. They were yelling, they did it! They did it! We told you, don't do it! We told you, don't do it! They're evil! They're evil! I'm like, dude, I don't care how evil you think the Germans are. They don't have control over bats. It wasn't like the guy got offended and said, oh, really? Uns release the bat. So now the crowd is weird. These guys are laughing. And there's freaking bats flying around the theater. First 2 minutes of my show. I gotta do an hour. And now I've already lost the crowd. They're freaking out. These guys are laughing weird. I'm nervous. It's my first time there. I don't know how to get out of this. So I literally walked over to the other side of the stage and I started just performing for this side of the room. Trying to redirect the focus right here. And I'm so nervous, I'm stuttering. I don't even have a segue. I'm like, you know, it's crazy in America. Everybody in America likes drinking, you know, it's real crazy. Like for example, Mexicans, most Mexicans, we like drinking tequila. Most black people like Hennessy. Most white people like Jaeger. Here in India, you guys like Fanta. And when I said Fanta, the crowd went crazy because it was such a local reference. They freaked out. They were like screaming, "Oh my God, he knows, he knows." They started singing, "Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta, don't you want Fanta, Fanta." The roar was so big, it allowed me to restart my show. So I started cracking new jokes and more jokes and these jokes and those jokes. 5 minutes go by. 5 minutes go by. All of a sudden, the Germans got offended at the fact that I left them out of my drinking joke. The one in the middle stands up and he approaches the stage. Now this stage has got to be about 5 feet tall. The guy's head was about this high. He was like 6'4". He looks at me and he starts pointing and he's yelling, "Hey, fat man! Fat man! What about us, huh? What about the Germans? What do we drink?" I was like, "Dude, that was like 5 minutes ago. We were giving you a chance. What do we drink?" I'm like, "First of all, sir, I apologize. I'm really nervous right now. I had no idea there was gonna be Germans here tonight." Yeah, felt like Poland. I don't care if you laugh or not. That's a smart-ass joke. That's a smart-ass joke. It's not my fault some of you pendejos failed history. You better Google that and find out why it's so damn funny. So, all the older white people, God damn it, yeah. So anyway, so I'm standing there and I go, "Listen, sir, you need to have a seat, okay? The people are getting nervous. You need to have a seat so I can finish the show." And the guy, he refuses. "I will not sit down, fat man, until you tell us what we drink." I go, "Listen, I don't know what you guys drink." And the Indians are being so cute. They're trying to help me. They're yelling, "Hey, they like Fanta too." And the guy was like, "We do not like Fanta." I'm like, "Dude." I go, "Sir, please have a seat." "I will not have a seat until you tell us what we drink. Tell us, fat man." I go, "Listen, sir, you need to sit down and you need to stop calling me fat man." Now it's starting to bother me. This is like the 6th time he does it. And I didn't just lose 100 pounds to now get called fat man. So I go, "Sir, if you don't have a seat, we're gonna have a problem, especially if you call me fat man again." And he freaking did it. "What are you gonna do, fat man? What do we drink?" Even Martin, who's behind the curtain, knew. He knows when I'm at that point where I've crossed over. I could hear him in the back. "Don't do it." Too late, Fluffy's pissed. So I said, "You wanna know what you drink? Tell me!" Don't ask me where this came from. I got right in his face and I said, "Blood of Jews." Now see, automatically you guys gave me a whole different reaction. In Delhi, that was probably the most shocking thing ever said on that stage. So shocking that 2,000 people at the exact same time got so quiet, you guys, so quiet. You could hear everyone's ass just... And I'm still standing there, my hands out. Have you ever said something that was so bad? And I mean, you knew it was bad as it was coming out of your mouth, and you're trying to stop it, but it's too late, it's already out, and you're like, "No." And it's too late. Blood of Jews is all over his face, right? I'm standing there, my hands out, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I'm like, "Ah!" He says, "That's a good one, yeah, that's a good one." Oh my God, thank you, thank you. It doesn't end there. I'm telling you guys, this is so crazy. So next morning, Martin and I are flying back home to Los Angeles from Delhi. We're taking an airline called British Airways. We go from Delhi to London, England, and we have a connecting flight over there. Once we get to England, they canceled our connect for whatever reason. And so we got rebooked on another airline called Lufthansa. It's a German airline. Now, this is why I believe in karma. Seriously, Martin's like, "Really? Blood of Jews?" I'm like, "I know." I felt like they phoned ahead. "Ons, take care of Fluffy." So I put down my credit card. I made sure that Martin and I got upgraded to at least their business class because it's like a long flight. And so we're in there, we're on the plane, and the plane takes off. About 20 minutes into the flight, we're just sitting there, we're laughing. And the flight attendant, she starts coming down the aisle with the little cart. Okay, she's coming down the aisle and she sees me and she goes, "Hello, sir. Do you have a preferred drink of choice today?" Martin looks at me, taps me in the chest, and he goes, "Hey, tell her." Tell her, bro. Come on, ask for it. If anybody has it. Dude, shut up. And then she looks at Martin. "Sir, do you have a preferred drink of choice?" And Martin's like, "Yeah, do you guys got blood of..." She's like, "Bloody Mary?" "Yes, yes, Bloody Mary." Freaking Machete's gonna get me banned from flying. So we make it back home. I'm trying to tell the story to my girlfriend and my son. And my girl, she's barely laughing. She's like, like she's jaded. She doesn't laugh at my jokes anymore. My son Frankie, on the other hand, he is dying. Ah! And I'm like, "Really?" He's 16 years old. I go, "Really, Frankie? You thought that was funny?" He goes, "Yeah, it's funny." I go, "What was so funny about my story?" He goes, "Those people you're talking about." I go, "Who, the Indians?" He goes, "No, the other ones." I go, "The Germans?" He goes, "Yeah, it's funny." I go, "What's so funny about the Germans?" "The way that they speak." I go, "What's so funny about the way that they speak?" He goes, "They sound like the 3 little pigs from the movie Shrek." I had to go on YouTube and freaking find it, and sure enough, all 3 little pigs. "Und ja, hello Shrek." I was just waiting for one of them to go, "Fat man!"
The Saudis had such an amazing sense of humor. They were laughing and carrying on, and I had no idea they were gonna be like that. And then after the show, I got a chance to meet some of the locals. And one guy was almost in tears. He was so emotional. He walks up to me and he's just like, "I cannot believe that I am standing here in front of you, Mr. Fluffy." "Oh, well, thank you. Please, when you return to United States or wherever you travel, let the people know what you saw, okay? Let them know that we are not all bad, that we are not all those bad people from Fox News, okay? You let them know, because we see Fox News, and Fox News believes that everybody in Middle East is bad. Everybody's terrorist. Everybody has a bomb. He has a bomb. He has a bomb. He has a bomb. Oprah is here giving away bombs to everybody. Everybody has a bomb. Please, you let them know. We are not all bad people, okay? We are not all terrorists. My cousin, maybe. What? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look at your face. Look at your face. Oh, I'm going to die. Look at you. A plane. What plane? I got you again. 2 for 2. I got you. He is raising my blood pressure every 7 seconds. And then he starts breaking it down for me how stand-up comedy is starting to bring people together in the Middle East, and how he's starting to do, he's doing comedy. It was crazy, the conversation. Here in Saudi Arabia, people, they like watching the stand-up comedy because we love to laugh, okay? We love to laugh. It's great to laugh. And people don't think that people in Middle East have sense of humor. They see videos, they see TV, they think we are the same. They say, "Oh, Middle Eastern people are all angry. Look at their face, they're angry. Everybody mad, everybody angry." My friend, we're not angry. It's hot. Okay? It's 117 degrees. Everybody is not mad, they're hot. Look at everybody has a hot face. Hot face. Everybody hot face. I promise, you give me air conditioning, I am so happy. We are okay. We love to laugh. I've been doing the stand-up comedy for about 6 months now, and I have jokes. Good for you. May I try? Oh, great. All right, man, go ahead. Okay, very nervous, very nervous. Okay, here we go. Okay, okay, here we go. 2 Jews